those videos of Hunter Biden partying, the montages.
Nice piece on him, though.
I never saw the piece.
Nice piece.
Most of the ones I saw were censored.
No.
So that means you think
Hunter.
Senior Biden's got a fucking hog?
Oh, you don't get in the fucking Oval Office without a fucking oval piece. Let me tell you what. That thing's a fucking Coke can.
Really? So Hunter had an okay one, eh?
Yeah,
it was doing it for you.
No. It wasn't doing anything.
Kind of sounds like it was doing it for you.
just
Actually wasn't
just an
doing it for you.
observation I've made.
Kind of feels to me like it was doing it for you.
No, just an observation I've made about the piece of the first son. Is that what he is, the first son?
I don't know. Maybe the other guy is the first one that died.
Well,
He's banging
I think
his
if you're
wife.
alive, though, then you're a first son. Is that a thing?
Oh, no, it's not. But so the Bidens have had a rough family week. The Biden family reality show has been wilding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like the Kardashians over there, right?
Yeah.
But the Hunter Biden stuff, there was like 7 or 8 different things where the reason I was even going to bring it up on the funny part was Washington Post recently did an article and the headline was the studies show that a mild crack use isn't that bad for you, and I was just like, are you kidding? So Washington Post, like in the same time frame of Hunter Biden doing crack, just has this new study that's actually not that crazy.
Weird,
to do some crack.
Yeah, just occasional crack. He had 21 grams of crack he was weighing up. You're like, first off, it's not a mild occasion. You're not an occasional crack
Well, it's like
user.
probably go to jail for a while.
What, dude? There's the famous Joe Biden fucking crime thing where he was like, when he was a senator or whatever, and he's like, we just passed a bill where if you have a piece of crack smaller than a dime or like a penny or something, a piece of crack smaller than that will get you minimum 5 years in jail. The judge has no. The judge cannot use their discretion. They must sentence you to 5 years in jail, and will seize everything you have, all your possessions, your bank account, everything. If you get caught with this little piece of crack, and then his son's just like 21 grams of crack, which is.
Do you think that's why Biden was saying this? He's like, we got to put a stop to this guy. He's using the whole thing for his own personal. There's also the other side of it where everyone's like, the United States government and people like Joe Biden use crack to, ruin the black community. And he's like, and Hunter.
And Hunter, yeah. He goes, I'm ruining everybody's community.
Yeah, it ain't just you anymore, pal. They're like, it's, wrecked black families. And he was like,
Maybe it's just karma.
So with that going on, and then there was.
He's just hanging out with fucking prostitutes nonstop.
Loves
Dude,
prostitutes.
that guy must spend so much money on escorts.
Dude, Ukraine spent it, and then we're paying them back for it.
Well, that's where all the prostitutes are
That's what
coming
Joe Biden's paying them all back for, all the hunting prostitutes. They're like, Zelensky's like, listen, low key, Hunter's got like a bill with us.
Yeah.
It's like leaving the casino, you know what I mean? Like you go, hey, listen, my dad's the president, he'll sort this out. And you're like, okay, but like he does have to sort this out.
Yeah. We do insist on this getting sorted out.
The sorting's happening, so I think that's what's going on right now, where basically, Joe Biden,
and the crazy,
he's calling in old debts, so he's like, next time you got a war or something like that, like between me and you, there'll be a little extra for yourself.
A little extra for the big man. That's what he calls him, and he calls him Pedo Pete.
I heard that.
That's so like all these things are so
because he was saying the Hunter, and then there was a new sniffing video coming out.
Yeah, these things are all so crazy, but then they're all even crazier in the context that if you go to CNN.com or MSNBC.com, there's not a fucking word about any of this.
What are they saying? Like economy's cruising?
Anything.
No, their videos are like economy kicking.
No, they're just like white people are bad and
same as always.
Yeah, same shit as always.
No, they're posting.
Here's why
crack's actually not that crazy.
Yeah, crack's not that bad, and here's why like white supremacy is causing gas prices to go up, and like just all the nonsense that they do. It's all that. But you're supposed to be a news organization. This isn't news.
You'd think that they try to cover that one.
Like
just
one
to
of those
pretend.
N's, the middle, the first N for CNN stands for news.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it was just down for nudes, and they should post the hunters out there so it can do it for Danny.
That's fine too.
Yeah, so he said it's fine. I knew it was doing it for him.
Nice piece.
And then Jill Biden, she was in hot water too, which sort of just shows that you can never win with these people. But everyone probably heard this already. But she apologizes for saying Latinos are as unique as breakfast tacos.
Yeah,
but I was like, it's just.
It's, you know what it is though, like the Jill Biden thing. You go, this is someone whose only interaction with Hispanic people is
They work for her.
They work for her, exactly.
Yeah.
She has like she lives an insanely sheltered. You know, again, she is the first lady, right? She lives this like insanely sheltered life.
I mean,
And
she's
then-
a crackhead's mother.
yeah, she's a crackhead's mother, so I guess not that sheltered. But yeah, and she's just like, yeah, and you know, she's like, I don't know what I said that was so bad.
I think she probably went to apologize. Which maybe
Well, she
she's.
had to.
Do you think it's possible that she's not thinking straight because of that fucking hammer? It just has it dizzy.
She goes, I can't believe that fucking my husband has that little fucking pinky finger, and his son has that massive rod.
Yeah,
Because it's her stepson. Hunter's her stepson.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, she says, basically, yeah, I like the idea of one of the other people coming out and being like, every Italian is like a slice of pizza. And you go do the other ones. You know what I mean?
Because you know Jews, they're just as distinct as the pawn shops in the Diamond District, or just they're like the bagels in the Lower East Side.
Every
They're just,
Irishman is a different IPA.
just as like a potato during the potato famine. They're just the potatoes.
Every seventh generation white European is, you know, a different slice of cheese on a cheese
Yes,
tree.
you know, our black friends, they're like the watermelons. And you can,
Each is a different.
Jill, shut the
just-
fuck up.
Jill, can it? You know what it is? I think Hunter's fixing. He saw the Rob Ford story, and he's fixing to enter politics. And
Think
he's
so?
like, they go, "Yo, you can be a crackhead politician," and that's why he's trying to get
Yeah.
clean or whatever.
yeah, I mean,
He's the OG.
there's been many.
That must be a big hero for him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what? He is. I don't know what his health situation is, but it seems like he's not dying. I feel like if you have unlimited resources, you probably can just be a crackhead.
Yeah, I guess so.
I remember in Guelph, when we lived in Guelph, I had a neighbor, this guy who.
Teeth still fall out, probably.
Yeah,
Eventually.
yeah. Well, he is missing teeth.
Yeah.
Hunter Biden does have. There's photos of
Also
him.
auditioning for Shorzy.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I remember I had this fucking neighbor, and he was just like a functioning crackhead. He worked in like a 9 to 5
Come on.
job that he kept, and he managed like this big parts like warehouse thing, and then he would just come home and smoke crack. And like,
How long do you know that he was doing that for?
a while. He had been for some time.
What the
'cause-
hell?
And he was just like a functioning crackhead. He smoked crack, and then
Hunter Biden wasn't functioning that good. If you've seen the videos,
well, not one you're on crack, but I mean, he was running all these fucking businesses, and he was consulting.
I don't know all the timelines. You know,
Yeah,
he might have went like Bender and then went back to.
Yeah,
you know.
I think so. And you go to rehab and all that. But I remember like in this place in Guelph, I can remember coming home one day because the thing is with this guy who was a crackhead, all his friends, like his social circle was all crackheads. But he had his work life, which he managed to like keep normal.
Oh my god, that's like and you walk through the crackhead areas, everyone's like, Tommy, and he
Yeah.
goes, no, not
No,
around the
but
work
dude, I remember
friends.
like coming home once and there was
briefcase just had a
fucking
bunch of
we had
crack
this
in it.
stairwell to get up the building, and there's just like blood everywhere because like, you know,
One of his crackhead
one of
buddies.
his crackhead buddies he had to fucking put in place, or someone was trying to like rob him or something because you just get involved with all these
Going to your
people.
normal job after that's nuts.
Yeah, he did. He probably still works there.
I know people who did
He was a
crack.
nice guy. I liked him. He was like honestly like a great guy.
Even when, probably not if he didn't get his crack.
Probably. I'm sure he was on crack.
That,
and
I
didn't
feel
know.
like that's super rare that goes on. For I think most people, you get maximum a year or so of that, and then you're on the street sucking dick.
Well, here's the thing: if you can manage to not have it affect your work, then no, you can do it indefinitely.
Well, that's my
It's
point. I think that you slowly. I think that slowly stops being the case.
Yeah, as long as you can just not smoke crack for 8 hours.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
I don't know
You think
about
there's like a
all this.
slow release crack patch you can just wear at work? just to get you through the day?
It has to be something. I think you only wait cold turkey on that kind of shit. Well, I knew people that were drug guys, like on tour and stuff. They were just like, roll up to a city, we need drugs, and if nothing else was available, they'll do crack. But it wasn't the first choice.
Yeah.
Like I know a few guys just from like, you know, dirty band guys from Mississauga, like, you know, kind of
They just need they need something crazy.
Right, and it was the guy was like, "Listen, we can't get coke, we can't get this, but we can get crack." And the guy's like, "Well, yeah, that'll do."
be fine, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've never done crack.
Here's the and then on top of that, well, you're mentioning that there's nothing about this in the CNNs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was kind of maybe not even gonna talk about this, but then the CNN did write an article because there was all these, you know, how she did the thing about, you know, Latinas or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the GOP, so CNN did this thing about the you know, Republican Party basically being like, the Republican candidates that are Latina are not the real deal Latinas,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
So they're basically, because...
Yeah, this is a more important article than Hunter Biden smoking crack and fucking going down a slide naked.
So, but I just thought, I read this because, you know, there's a bunch of these Hispanics that are all kind of becoming Republican, and then there's a lot of them kind of rising up in the ranks because I feel like it's also, it's like a hot thing to be sort of like a Republican that isn't white, like too. You know what I mean?
The Republicans are conscious of the fact that we don't all want to be just all white people,
right? Because we don't want to be.
We're
too
looking for the
predictable.
Candace Owenses, and you know,
those are in demand. Probably, yeah, exactly, right.
Absolutely.
To be honest, they're probably more in demand on Republican because there's more spots to be filled. Whereas on the if you're going to be like a liberal and you're not white, there's probably a lot of people that already got in that game and took the diversity higher positions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you can kind of come up hot in the scene as a Republican,
Hell
right?
yeah, you can.
And yeah, there's less of them. There's more in demand, but they aren't that much less. So basically, they're just like, you know, Flores, De La Cruz, Garcia. There's all these. They go, well, these Latinos are having a moment in the spotlight. They hold views outside the Latino mainstream, and they're kind of saying, it's the equivalent of the black guy that, you know, is just like a you know, wears a suit and tie, and they're like, oh, he's not a real. Yeah, it's like pretty racist,
I mean, it's
right?
Joe Biden. He goes, if you vote for Donald Trump, you ain't black.
Yeah, but it's more the equivalent of being like. Well, I guess it's the exact same as that, but I was saying more the.
Like, what's a black person, Joe? What is a black person? Is it they're all the same?
Exactly.
They go,
they're like, well, if they shoot guns, they're not really black unless they're illegal. Like, well, just stop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Joe, let Jill talk now.
Okay, maybe not her either. Let Hunter. Well, you know what? Maybe the whole family needs to take a vacation.
Else? Is Barack Obama available by chance? Just maybe fucking
Did you see the thing?
Step in for a minute?
Did you see the thing on Twitter that was fucking amazing? Where it was like kind of a viral tweet with a bunch of people were like posting it as like a troll saying like, I don't care what anyone says about Obama. Like, I don't trust anyone who won't tell us his last name. And
I did not see that.
Everyone was saying that, like, Obama refused to tell us his last name. His name was just Obama, like one name.
I did not see that.
Good shit, right?
That seems like an old head meme.
It does seem like an old head meme. We're talking a lot about old head memes on the Patreon. But the reason why it was like so crazy to me is because when they did the stats, they go, that's just not where most Latinos lie these days. And the Pew Research Center reports 60% of Hispanic adults say abortion should be illegal in all or most cases. And then also 58% of Hispanics favor stricter gun controls. And it was like,
that's not a super majority. It's
yeah,
like a coin flip.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know.
The audacity to go to, you go, there's Latino Republicans, and you're like, those aren't real Republicans. Like 40, that's only 40% of Latinos.
42%.
That's only 42% of Latinos.
Yeah, you know,
look at this guy, thinks he represents, and you're just like, what are you? You go, yeah, it's not going to be 100%. But the obvious stat that matters is, what was it 5 years ago, morons?
Yes. And the funny thing about this article
is it higher or lower? Like, that's the only stat that matters.
Yeah, this article is like, yeah, these are all, they're acting like, you know, this is like, they're like, oh yeah, these don't represent anybody. And then you're like, so then why are you worried about this? Why is this even an article? Like CNN's writing about, you know, like being like, they're going to take over all the stuff, but you're saying in the article that like, they're all
why bother?
Yeah, why bother?
You go sort it out.
You're saying that they're not going to win and they don't represent anybody, and she won 29,000 seats and she's about to lose. So I'm like, what's the point of this article?
Yeah, exactly, right? You go, yeah, that's a small little thing, but don't get them fooled and think Latinos actually like this. They like us. And be like, so yeah, what are you trying to push here?
Yeah, who's reading this and whose minds are you changing here? Like,
some Latino being like, let's do a Latino accent.
Oh, what's up, man?
I'm voting for the wrong guy.
When I voted for the wrong guy?
Yeah, he's got his farmer hat just sort of like blows off his head with his team like, oh, I say I voted for the wrong guy.
Oh, I voted for Trump. Whoops.
Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Whoopsie daisy.
Oh, shit. It turns out I'm not Latino.
Go Dodgers.
Me and my family thought that we were voting for the Latino party all the time. I went made it Asian.
I'll bet. It's fine.
Let's go back to Peterson. What? Did you try that recipe that I gave you? All right, not now.
Dad. No, Dad. And I go, no, it was a good recipe.
Me and your mom have been trying to have another kid. I go, Dad, you're a little old for that.
A little old for that. I saw a fucking sign, by the way. There's if you
opened up your eyes and said, come on.
I was walking up, where was this? Near Madison Square Garden. There's this big building, and they do these big like murals on it, like there's huge murals, and there's like this thing. I may need to reevaluate, or like, but it said there's this woman, and she goes like, I beat cancer 3 times, and I'm 57, and I just had a baby, and I was like, what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's honestly there. She's 57, and she goes, yeah, I beat cancer 3 times, and now I'm like a new mom, and you're like,
I don't think so.
Can you have a baby when you're 57?
Highly doubt that. If I do, I'm gonna
fucking wonders of science.
Should have probably wore a rubber if you can.
Imagine that guy. I was like, she's dating some fucking like 62-year-old
exactly.
fuckboy. He goes, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? 57? He goes, that can't be possible. Something's going on here.
Yeah, that seems like
it's literally on like
money.
8th Avenue.
What are they selling? What do they want you to sell?
It's for it's for a hospital, like a cancer research center. But you're like, and she beat cancer.
Oh, it's like inspirational. Like we're so good at beating cancer that you got.
But
we
why
pumped her
57?
full of radiation, and now she's got a kid at 60.
Yeah, but it's like, is that possible?
That seems fucking crazy. You'd expect it to be like, I'm back to hiking every day.
Yeah, and she is hiking in the photo.
Okay,
the crazy thing is, in the
See,
mural,
I feel like I know their formula, but I don't know this new edition.
She is hiking, but she has a baby. But she looks like a grandmother.
Fuck off.
But with a newborn. I was like, really threw a curveball.
Fellas, this is the New Clips channel. Right now, we're at 3K. Hit us with a subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. Very much appreciated. Let's get to 5K at the very least. All right. Thank you. Peace.